Namaste, ladies and gentlemen. In my previous video, I was talking about the subject of mantra, tantra, yantra, and cross reference to the bodily human existence or humanoid. Now, what we need to understand is what is this mantra, what is this yantra, or what is this tantra that you know I am talking about. Why should I be talking about it at first place? Are Saptaswaras related to mantra, yantra, tantra? That is the one question which one needs to ask for himself or herself. Point number one. Now, I have introduced. Now, this mantra, tantra, yantra aspect has always been a taboo aspect, or that subject which has not been understood by and large by anyone and everyone. Because today, in this 21st century, if I really look at the way one is trying to interpret mantra tantra aspect, it is being misused by and large. And it has been clearly exhibited, and it is being exhibited by the performer or someone who is doing singing in Natya Shastra, as per Natya Shastra. It has been clearly told. And that is a reason why you see many forms of Shiva, and as I was speaking, Daivika, Adi Daivika, Vikara, Nirvikara Swarupa, Vidya, Avidya Swarupa of both Purusha and Prakriti. So this is where Tantra comes into picture. And to get connected, one needs to understand about mudras here. Which mudras am I talking about? Am I talking about all the mudras that are existing as per tantric and mantric aspect? No. If I really need to talk about it, that will be kind of misleading to the viewers or someone who is hearing to these my videos. The reason is mudras really help one and all, which one needs to understand. This is where actually Chari's aspect comes into picture. Charis and Pada Vedas of classical dance form. And this is where 108 Karnas also come into picture. However, I will be explaining that in detail. Let me not talk about the Saptaswaras here in this video for now. Let's take the subject understanding mantra. The very meaning and conceptual and contextual reference for the mantra, tantra, yantra aspects are Jnana Mudra, Prana Mudra, Shunya Mudra, and Apana Mudra. Why Shunya Mudra is Shunya, Prana, Jnana, Apana we are talking about, and Pana Mudra also. Because here is where you need to get connected to the terrestrial existence, ladies and gentlemen. That's what one needs to understand, which are directly or indirectly having that connection to this, earth, water, fire, air, and ether, respectively. So these are the primary aspects of the very earthly existence. So far I was talking about the confluence or constellation of the planets. That is again a different subject altogether. However, I will be touching upon that. We have many mantras. Omkaram bindu samyuktam nityam dhyayanti yoginam kamadam mokshadam chaiva omkaraya namo namaha. Omkara sarva vedanam sarastatva prakashakaha tena chit samadhanam mamukshunam prakashayate. Om bhur bhuvassu tats aviturvarenyam भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो न प्रचोदयात् मापो ज्योतिरसों ब्रह्म भूर्भुवस्सुवरों त्रयंबकं यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मुक्षीयमा अमृतात्. What exactly happens when you recite mantra? It enhances focus, clarity, and gives that balanced energy flow and improves your emotional health, promotes physical well-being, deepens spiritual connection. Though here is where, if we see mantra, tantra, yantra, you need to have yantra and tantra over here. Just Omkaram bindu sanyuktam nityam dhyayanti yoginam, if I do, it doesn't happen, right? So this is where actually you need to put mudras come into picture. So again, one needs to understand what are different types of tantras that are existing and what Natya Shastra uses over here. Tantra are Vamachara, Kaulachara, Satvika, Manasika, Vaishnavachara, Shaivachara, Siddhantachara, Vedachara. Natya Shastra follows Satvika Tantra, Vedantachara Tantra, Shaivachara Tantra, and Manasika Tantra. Kaulachara, Vamachara, these two tantric mediums are used for negative purposes. Again, this is used in Sri Vidya Sadhana, which not everyone can take into or take these energy levels. Don't get into Vamachara, Kaulachara or something wherein you have that Bali kind of thing, okay, wherein flesh eating kind of thing starts happening. So this is the tantra aspect. Now tantra again is based on agamas, sanchita agamas, shakta agamas, tantra agamas. Now tantra I am talking about. Why tantra agamas? Why shakta agamas, sanchita agamas or agama as a whole? There has to be some kind of principle or some kind of process that needs to be followed. So that is the reason why for all of these bija mantras, Vedic mantras, healing mantras, guru mantras, and shanti mantras are there. So if we really look at look or deep dive and delve into the very aspect of Natya Shastra as told by Natya Brahma or Natya Sutra Dhara, it is more or less based on the Bija mantra, Vedic mantras, healing mantras, Guru mantra, and Shanti mantras. It won't go beyond that. Vamachara and Kaulachara is again like, Saptamaswara, Ashtamaswara, Navamaswara, Dashamaswara, Ekadashmaswara, Dwadashamaswara. So that's the highest level, which no one can really go. So here there is a process that everyone, a process that happens. First step is chanting, which happens. Then that visualization happens deep within. If he or she is not a dancer or he or she is not a performer, he or she will be visualizing that, getting that visualization with the saptaswaras or with the bija mantras that are inculcated, like Om, Aim, Reem, Shreem, Kleem, Sau, Aim, Reem, Shreem, Kleem, Akara, Ukara, Makara. So all in all, what I can say is Akara, Ukara, Makara is the best for everyone. Don't go beyond that. If you really want to go, take initiation. And there are two aspects to this. And this is also a kind of upasana. Saguna upasana, Nirguna upasana. Why Saguna and Nirguna I am talking about, and Guna aspect. See, if we have these three kinds of aspects added to this Tantra or Mantra, what happens is he or she would be able to visualize and get that positive visualization. And that's what is the Natya Shastra's key aspect. And that is the reason why Natya Shastra was released. And in precise, if you see, the dancer or the one who recites or who does the rendition of the song are the initiators over here, which one needs to understand. And this is what is called Vachika Japa, Upamsa Japa, Manasa Japa. So here there are three steps again. If you really look at, Vachika is being done by the one who is singing the song, rendering the song. Upamsu Japa is something, when this rendition is happening, that dancer is getting that power deep within, and thus he or she is able to visualize that and presenting it as an output in the dance form using 108 karnas. Again, it is getting to 108 karnas. Karnas are not for the stylized aspects, but it has an importance which I will be explaining again. So again, shlokas, if we really look at, or when one is rendering, it is Sakshi, Sthula, Sukshma. We need to think about this, ladies and gentlemen. So now, having talked about Tantra aspect over here, we need to talk about the Samaya Tantra, Bhairava Tantra, Mahabhairava Tantra, Kriya Tantra, Charya Tantra, Yoga Tantra, Anutara Yoga Tantra, highest yoga. So Natya Shastra touches upon all of these, ladies and gentlemen. Knowingly or unknowingly, a dancer touches this, and this is indirectly getting to that. I would want to go beyond this, but as of now in this video, I am just giving the introduction of how exactly all this works. Anuttara Yoga Tantra, on the other hand, is divided to non-dual aspect, non-dualistic approach. It's a Advaita philosophy that they follow, not the Dvaita philosophy. It's not the dual philosophy there. Here, Prakriti and Purusha's role come into picture. So, now if we really see, for mantra and tantra, there are 5 pillars. As I was speaking, right? Which are earth, Prithvi, water, Jala, fire, Agni, air, Vayu, ether, space, or Akasha. Now, if you really look at whatever that I am talking about, in short, this is again talking about the foundation of the universe. Which universe I am talking about? You would be seeing Nataraja's idol, right? It has 4 directions. All the 4 directions have the tantric medium there, tantric and mantric medium, which more or less talks about that inner purity aspect. And one can really make use of this, but you should be using it in a very positive way, ladies and gentlemen. That's a word of caution. Be cautious enough. Wherein Vamachara Tantra also comes into picture, Siddhantachara Tantra also comes into picture, Dakshinachara Tantra also comes into picture, Vedachara Tantra also comes into picture, Vaishnavachara Tantra also comes into picture, Kaulachara Tantra also comes into picture, Aghorachara Tantra. Now, in this classical dance form or classical dancer uses Shaivachara Tantra, to an extent Dakshinachara Tantra, and Vedachara Tantra, Vaishnavachara Tantra, and that's it, not more than that. They don't go beyond that, ladies and gentlemen, as per Natya Shastra. That is the point which one needs to understand. And this is just an introduction to whatever that I am talking about, which I will be talking in detail about these also, though. So, you just need to make sure that your body is able to handle these tantric effects, tantric or mantric effects, which I am talking about. Omkaram bindu sanyuktam nityam dhyayanti yoginam kamadam mokshadam chaiva omkaraya namo namaha omkara sarva vedanam sarastatva prakashaka tenachit samadhanam mamkshunam prakashayate. That's okay, you can manage. Om bhurbhuvasvah tatsaviturvarenyam bhargo devasya dhimai dhiyo yo na prachodayat mapo jyotirasom brahma bhurvasvaram. Om Shrim Hrim Klim Aim Sau 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 and Hrim Shrim Klim Ganglom Haritra Ganapati Varavarada Sarvajjanam Em Vashmanaya Swa Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivartanam Urvarukam Mrityor Mukshiyamam. All these mantras are Satvika mantras, and they are related to, Shaivachara Tantra again. This is where Abhinav Gupta has done strong research on this. And there are phenomenal works for this also, which he has done. However, that's not the subject which I want to deal now, but I can just to give you uh, you know, just a small introduction about Abhinav Gupta over here. So, if we really see, thus touching the very aspect of the aspects of Karanas here. As I was telling, right, it it touches upon 108 Karanas here. These mantras and tantras and yantra. Which yantra I am talking about? I am talking about that yantra so-called humanoid, which has all the layers, 14 layers, which one needs to understand. And as I was telling, right, not to get connected to this tantra and mantra, yantra aspect, Natya Brahma or Natya Sutradhara used Nritta, Hastas, Sthanas, and Charis. Meaning dance by hands, postures, and dance movements by the legs respectively. So, does this theory or theology of mantra, tantra, yantra stop here? Is this the base? No. Though this you can say as introduction to Karanas, 108 Karanas. Does that stop there? No. Again, it touches upon 27 nakshatras, 27 yoga nakshatras, which I will be talking in detail again. Thus, even this, what you call, this touches upon the Vedas. Which Veda I am talking about? Why Vedas? Veda means over here not the differences. I will come with to the etymological in my next video about all of this. Shiro Veda, Uro Veda, Parsva Veda, Kati Veda, Pada Veda, Bahu Veda, Veda, Uru Veda, Janu Veda, Janga Veda, Hasta, Karnas, Stri Sthanas, Nritta Hastas, Bahucharis, Akashacharis. So, if we see logically, we are getting connected in a very systematic way, starting from head to toe, which one needs to understand. Charis or sthanas. Which sthana I am talking about? These sthanas directly or indirectly touch your chakras, shat chakras. Does this stop here? As I said, no. 27 nakshatras are there in the universe. As you are seeing, as specified by the Saptarishis, which are important logically. Otherwise, if you really see, there are many nakshatras coming out day in and day out. That Anu and Parmanu aspect also comes into picture here. So that is the reason why Natya Shastra is all about understanding this. So this humanoid is so complex that, this very understanding about this. Specifically, if we are talking about Shirobheda, Urobheda, and Parsvabheda, Katibheda, and Padaveda, and Bahubheda, and Urubheda, Janubheda, Jangabheda, Hastakarnas, Stristhanas, Nritya, Nrittahastas, Stristhanas. Why here one may ask Stristhanas? This is the reason why Stri is a woman or Stri or female has the highest regard in the Vedas and Upanishads. As I said, and I was explaining two sthanas, right? So this is where the divine act of the mother comes into picture. Ma, ma. So here is where the aspects of Panchanga in reference to the elements, to 5 elements come into picture, ladies and gentlemen. Understand this, how exactly Natya Shastra is going about this human existence or humanoid's systematic approach towards the individual persona, both from the personification and all. See how complex it is. Day of a week, each day ruled by a planet, nakshatra, star or a constellation in which moon is transiting, and tithi, moon phase with respect to sun's position. Though sun is what you call around 12, Aditya, Dwadasha Aditya. Here I am talking about the Dwadasha Adityas again. And Karanas, half a lunar day. Each tithi has 2 Karanas. Yoga, on the other hand, a special calculation for separating distance of the sun and the moon. Here is the reference of two earrings of Lalita Devi in Lalita Sahasranamavali. Sun and moon, they compare, right? In Lalita Sahasranama. So, logically, if you see, yoga equal to latitude of sun plus latitude of the moon at 13 degrees and 20 inches of the distance. So this is where the astrological significance starts, which one needs to understand. Mantra, Tantra, Yantra started. After Mantra, Tantra, Yantra started, it is directly getting us connected to the Vedas. Vedas to Charis. Okay. Now, basing on the 27 yugas, what are those 27 yugas? Let's try understanding. Vishakumbha, Preeti, Ayushman. Vishakumbha is supported. Okay. It's like supporting. Saubhagya, Shobhana, Atiganda. Danger or obstacle. Sukarma, virtuous. Dhriti, Shula, spear or this. Ganda, Vridha, Dhruva, constant. Vyagata, Harshana, Vajra, Siddhi, Vyatapata, calamities. Varayani, Parigha, Shiva, Siddha. Anamika. Now, and what you call Shubha, Shukla, Brahma, Indra, Vaidritik, Vaidritik. Now, having speaking about all of these 27 yogas, these are the 27 yogas that a dancer touches upon as per Natya Shastra. Some are self-explanatory, some will be explained. Though I will be explaining, not an issue though, in my next video about this. This is just an introduction. How exactly that Samayoga happens of Prakriti and Purusha, or male or female's communion, what happens? Okay. As I said, Karna is half a Tithi or the moon phase, right? Right? So there are 4 Karnas and 7 movable Karnas. Fixed occur once in a month. Fixed. Okay. Movable occur 8 times in a month. 4 fixed Karnas are Shakuni, Chatushpada, Nagakaustuva, or Kimstugna. Understand this, ladies and gentlemen. This is like, primary phase of understanding 108 Karnas, as to why Karnas were introduced by, Natya Sutradhara or Natya Brahma or Shiva. So if you see whole of this, Aim Angushtabhyam Namaha, Klim Tarjanibhyam Namaha, Sauh Madhyamabhyam Namaha, Sauh Anamikabhyam Namaha, Klim Kanishtakabhyam Namaha, Aim Karatala Karaprushtabhyam Namaha, Aim Hrudayaya Namaha, Aim Sirase Swaha, Sauh Shikaya Vashat, Sauh Kavachaya Hum, Klim Netratrayaya Vaushat, Aim Astraya Fat, Bhuvassuvarom iti digbandhaha. What am I doing here? I am actually like trying to whole of these 27 yogas and these karnas, I am trying to do meditatively. A dancer does with that 108 karnas. That's the difference which one needs to understand. See, 7 occurring karnas, as I was speaking about, are Bhava, Balava, Kaulava, Taitilla, Gara, Vanija, Vishti. Thus, in my next video, I'll be explaining this, not to worry though. But why am I talking about all of this in this video? Because if you want to understand karnas, one need to understand those 27 yogas from the viewpoint of Angushta, Tarjani, Madhyama, Aim Angushtabhyam Namaha, Klim Tarjanibhyam Namaha, Sau Madhyamabhyam Namaha, Sau Anamikabhyam Namaha, Klim Kanishtakabhyam Namaha, Aim Karatalakara Prushtabhyam Namaha. So, though if we really look at, it starts with the Padavedas, which are of 5 types. As I was explaining in the Padavedas, right? So these Padavedas also I will be touching upon. This is just an introduction that I am giving you. On the other hand, Now, this is directly or indirectly taking us to understanding of Nataraja or Nataraja Swarupa or Arthanari Swarupa or Prakriti and Purusha's confluence or male and female's confluence, which one needs to understand. What are those angles or whatever that happens there, and how do you get connected to that? A dancer, when a dancer dances in 108 karnas, if you see the figures, I will be explaining that there are various angles to that, different angles, talking about the constellations though here I am talking from the viewpoint of Akhila Anda Koti Brahma and Nayika aspect. Though what one needs to understand is the depth of the universe. It's infinite and never ending. Rather, it is dynamic, meaning ever expansive in its nature, though. And does it stop here again? No. One needs to understand what is that one thing that gets connected. They are Saptamatrikas, which are Brahmari, Maheshwari, Vaishnavi, Chamunda, Narsimhi, Ashtamatrika. Anima Siddhe, Lakima Siddhe, Mahima Siddhe, Garima Siddhe, Prapta Siddhe, Prakamya Siddhe, Vashitva Siddhe, Ishitva Siddhe. What are these? These are the 8 yoginis or Ashta yoginis. And in cross reference to Ashta Digbandhana as well. This is what is called Ashta Digbandhana aspect, which one needs to understand. So, Natya Shastra is not a very simple text. It has very much high depth, which one needs to understand. If you see these yoginis, furthermore, if you see 8 into 8, 8 into 8 combinations, 64 yoginis again. And apart from these, there are 8 caretakers or Dikpalakas, Ashta Dikpalakas, adding to this. So, 27 nakshatras are related to the very aspect of this. So, to give you an introduction of 5 types of, Pada Vedas, right? Udghatita, Sama, Agratala, Sanchara, Anchita, Kunchita. So, if you see the Udghatita, you raise, heels are lifted off the ground with toes touching the floor. Why that thing is happening? Here is where that energy source is coming from the bottom. Bhudevi is here, and that touches upon the Mooladhara. And the second one, Sama. Sama means equal, which one needs to understand. Both placed naturally and evenly on the ground. So this is where that Prakriti and Purushas, those energy levels are transmitted evenly, equally. And Agratala, if you see, heels are lifted, toes are placed on the floor, and the foot moves forward from this bent position. The heels on the ground, but the the fore part of the foot is raised with all the toes spread out. What it means, what are you doing? You are actually like the energy that is coming out, sprouts out from the foot. It is actually like coming from the fingers or toe fingers. That finger, okay, the fifth finger of the foot from right and fifth finger from left. These are the two energy connecting points a dancer gets. So the heels are on the ground and the forefoot of the foot is raised with all the toes spread out. As I was speaking, the heels are lifted, all the toes are bent down, and the middle of the foot are also bent. Chari specific by movements and steps. And this is where actually it talks about the gati bheda. Those movements, if you are doing fast, the energy produced will be more, which one needs to understand. So, if we are looking at whole of this concept, right? Tantra, mantra, yantra, it's directly or indirectly talking about the whole of the body's visualization. Saptaswaras getting connected, that's a different subject altogether. So, thus Natya Shastra, one needs to understand in a more broader sense, ladies and gentlemen. However, I will be touching upon the astrological 27 nakshatras in my next video, and I will be going much further with this subject only of mantra, tantra, yantra. These are what are the factors and cofactors that govern mantra, tantra, yantra aspect. Thus, I conclude this video with a positive note. Stay blessed and have a real blissful life. Think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Natya Shastra is not a simple text to be just understood just like that. It has to be given that, you know. However, I will be talking about the mantras also from the texts. Stay blessed and have a real blissful life. May the Guru's grace be with one and all. Have a nice day.